Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by Becoming One. I'm JimmieV and this is...
Hi, I'm Angela Scullawl. I'm with Heartland Homestead Families.
Today we're going to teach you how to make butter bites. We're going to show you the recipe, we're going to teach you how to do it, and also how to jazz it up. So stay tuned.
Is that not amazing?
Oh my gosh.
Carnivore candy. There you go.
Okay, what do you got for us today?
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do to make brown butter bites, we have to have butter. So I've got a couple of sticks of butter here. We're going to chop these up. You're going to need a pan, something to stir with. I prefer, on the other side, once we get these melted, silicone molds for my brown butter bites. We're going to chop this up and melt it.
Okay. Just to make sure I understand, sorry, the only thing I need is butter?
All you need is butter. I prefer salted butter. You can choose the alternative if you'd like, but those electrolytes, I love those. So I choose salted butter.
Okay.
So I'm just going to throw those in the pan.
Okay.
Okay, so we are just going to stir this up about medium heat. And there's 3 stages to brown butter bites. The first one is the butter is going to melt. The second stage will be a foaming stage. You'll see lots of foam on top of the surface.
Kind of like what we're seeing there around the edges?
Yes, that's the beginning of that foaming stage. So that foaming stage that we're talking about is actually the milk solids. And the milk solids are composed of a specific fatty chain, whey and lactose. Your whey being protein and lactose being the sugar. And what will happen is once those fatty chains break down, actually, the fatty chains are breaking down right now inside this foaming stage. Foaming stage seems to take the longest, I think. This process here is only about a 10-minute, 15-minute process. It's really quick, really easy.
How many bites do you think we'll get out of what you just made?
So this one, we have 2 sticks of butter. And my mold is a small circle mold. We'll see that here in a second. And each of my molds will hold a half a tablespoon of butter. So I know each bite that I get is going to be about a half a tablespoon of butter.
Okay.
So as you can see, those...
Yeah, it's getting pretty foamy on the top.
Foamy on top, and if you just move your spoon through there, you can see it's kind of clear underneath.
Yeah.
So you've got that separation that's happening right now. Now the clear part, if you've ever heard of ghee, would be the clarified butter, and that's what that clear portion is right there. If you actually filtered it, you would simply have ghee once you took the solids out.
How do I know that that's ready?
Good question. So we are going to keep stirring. This foam is actually going to get thicker and it will move from a white color to a pastier color, I guess. Yeah. And then you'll be able to swipe your spoon through there and see the solids will fall to the bottom. And that's what actually starts browning. When that starts happening, it's caramelizing. And that's what will give you that brown butter flavor. It's a nutty, caramely type flavor and a fat bite, a brown butter bite. I would not put this on the stove and walk away from it. You can burn butter, and burnt butter is terrible. Nobody wants brown, burnt butter. We just want it browned, not burnt. So if you see the foam on top right now, it's getting a little fluffier.
Yeah.
It's not as solid.
And you can see the color, it's darkening up too.
That's stage 2, so we're not there yet, but getting close to having those solids drop to the bottom. Okay, so if you can see in there, the foam on top, you got your ghee, your clarified layer kind of in the middle, and then you've got some particles that have dropped, being your milk solids that fell to the bottom.
Yeah.
The protein.
I can see that. I mean, the stuff you were talking about, the going to the bottom, when you pull that to the side, I can see the solids in there.
Yep. We'll wait for that to brown up, and we are probably getting ready to move into that final browning, caramelizing stage.
Okay. That is really
see the
foamy.
yellow?
Yeah.
Or the brown coming through there? It's browning underneath. I don't know if you can see when I move that spoon fast enough. The brown is just, it's happening.
So for you, at what point do you say, okay, I'm ready to stop?
When the brown gets a little bit darker here.
On the top?
On the bottom.
On the bottom.
On the bottom.
Okay.
And it's just peeking through. It's really hard to see.
Oh, yeah,
I can see it. There.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we are really, really close. And then we're going to kind of let this thing cool off a little bit. There it is.
Yeah.
The foam is dissipating.
You can see it. You can see it's nice and brown now.
So you can stop this process earlier. You can work through it a little bit darker, just trying not to go past the caramelized stage and hitting that burnt. It's really going to be a personal preference. Right there, like the foam looks like it's going away, and I've got a nice brown color. I'm going to turn the heat off, and I'm going to slide this off the heat. So I move this off the heat. I'll come back and stir it on occasion just to try to get it to cool down a little quicker to avoid the burn. We're gonna grab this pan of butter here, and we're gonna throw it into our silicone mold.
Excellent.
So I mentioned earlier a half a tablespoon, so I got my little half a tablespoon measure there. And we are just going to scoop and pour. And then you just I try to get the dark brown that's down underneath there a little bit into each of my little cavities. And I've done this before, so I know that this will make exactly the number of cavities in my mold that I've got. You can make these larger, you can make them smaller. And then once we get this filled, we simply put it in the refrigerator and the freezer. Freezer obviously is going to go a little faster. And then in no time, you will have on the go brown butter bites. So there it is. We will drop that in the freezer, and then it will finish up.
Nice.
So here we go. We pulled them out of the refrigerator, let them set up, and now they're a golden yellow. Pretty pretty.
And that's all you have in there is just the butter?
Just the butter.
Okay.
Just the butter. So like I said earlier, my pieces are about a half a tablespoon. So,
nice.
So we'll go ahead and pop some of these guys out.
This would actually work out pretty well for like putting in coffee.
Oh, perfect.
Like I could drop one of those in my coffee in the morning instead of having to cut it off.
Absolutely.
Wow.
We'll just put a few out there. And just so pretty. They're so fun. Okay. Have you ever tasted
I've never had
a brown butter bite?
Never.
Okay. Today's the day.
You have?
I have.
Okay.
I refer to these as carnivore candy.
Nice.
Carnivore candy. I don't know that it's really sweet, but it kicks that little bit of a craving. And I am a carb addict, so this is my substitute.
Can I try one?
My default. Absolutely. Go for it.
Or cold.
They are cold.
Oh my gosh, it does taste good.
The salty on top is my favorite. Mmm. Mmm. Mmm.
Mmm. It kind of reminds me of a caramel toffee.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is. It kind of has that caramel toffee flavor to it.
Is that not amazing?
Oh my gosh. Those
Carnivore candy.
fantastic.
There you go.
I cannot believe how easy this was.
About 10 minutes. You can put some back. You've got it all day, every day, nighttime.
I am going home to try this as soon as we get done here. These are fantastic.
Brown.
I mean, and the taste, I can't get over how close to like a caramel toffee that tastes with a little bit of that salty flavor in it.
Salted caramel. Mm.
Man, that is delish.
Good, good. So I got a couple of ideas,
Okay.
a couple of things that you can try if the idea of eating a whole bite of fat, butter, is a little bit offsetting. So a couple things you can try. There are flavored electrolytes, specifically chocolate being my favorite, with 0 sugar and comprised of your magnesium, your sodium, and your potassium, right? So all your electrolytes. You can actually mix those in and trick yourself into having a chocolate bite, per se.
That sounds great. Have you tried that yet?
I have tried it.
You have? Okay.
Yes.
Right.
And I have electrolytes on order. I wanted them today, but they didn't make it.
Okay, so we're going to put a link to the chocolate electrolytes that she uses in the description below.
Yeah.
Man, that sounds good.
Yum. Now, the second thing you can try also is once this is cooled, before you put it in a mold, you can actually whip a protein powder in. If you have a protein powder you're
That's
using,
a good idea.
and then you've got a protein whipped butter bite.
Nice.
Amazing, right?
Nice.
So
That's
2 different
great.
ways you can kind of change it up. If this doesn't maybe your favorite, it's my favorite, but you could try those other 2 things and see what you think.
Wow.
So
That's fantastic.
yum. Yum,
Nice.
yum,
Any more tips or tricks?
yum. Don't burn the butter.
Okay.
That's it. Just don't burn the butter.
Like this. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you everyone for tuning in today. Quick, easy butter bites, fantastic snack. I can't believe how close that really does taste like a salted caramel toffee. If you haven't already, drop a comment below. Let us know what you thought. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you'll know when the next content comes up. Until the next time, I'm Jimmy V. This is Angie, and we're signing off.